Hi, Auntie. Here we are. We're live. Where is our Pepper Boy?
I think he's hiding. I
He
don't
is.
know why.
He is sitting underneath the stool. All of the lighting and the cameras and all the action has sent Pepper, Dr. Pepper, who's an emotional support dog and who is dedicated to the stories of fur children and the service that they provide for each and every one of us. Even if your fur child is not technically uh, considered an emotional support animal as far as we're concerned, me and Auntie, I'm Polly Fletcher, and this is Auntie Florence, all fur children. As far as we concerned, are emotional support animals. And Pepper is very dedicated to eliminating cruelty and abuse and abandonment with fur children, and has started some live streams to really get the discussion moving, get action going. And we wanted to share that Auntie Florence here, Pepper, inspired you, right?
Absolutely.
You want to tell your story for just a minute while I get the little man out from underneath? So share your story, Auntie. How Pepper inspired you to become what?
A poet?
Yes.
I never wrote poetry in my life.
Yeah.
But when I met Pepper, whatever
I
happened,
don't know, man.
I really call it a miracle because the words, they just keep coming, and I can't stop the words.
Yeah. And when you've written 3 books,
Yes.
over 100 poems just in 2018 alone.
Right, I did.
Yeah. And how has that, how does that make you feel, Auntie?
Oh my gosh, it's like a new life for me. I mean, here I am at my age, and I look at myself as a poet, and I've sent the poetry along to a lot of people, and they just love it.
Yeah, and what are we planning soon for Christmas, for the holidays, for fur children who are looking to be adopted? We're looking at scheduling some poetry readings of some of the poems that you have written for Pepper, like at Angel Memorial,
Yes.
to do some reading for some of the pups and the kitties looking to be adopted over the holiday season.
All right. Oh, yes, we have to do that.
And so that brings us to a very heavy subject, right? Because you just recently suffered a really big loss in your life.
I did.
And want to share that with us a little bit?
Yes, I had a cat for 20 years, and she was like a member of my family. And I never thought I would come to the day when she took sick, and I said, "Oh my gosh, this is the time now. Do I have to put her down?"
That must have been really hard because I remember a year and a half ago,
Yes,
you were in a panic state. Was it the time? Is this the time
right.
to put Pancake down? And because what? She wasn't eating,
Not drinking water.
and you were really concerned. And fast forward, she ended up living a whole year and a half from that point. And the doctor had said what to you?
Well, the doctor wanted a year and a half, wanted to put her down because she came down with a kidney problem. And then a short time after he saw her, she did stop eating somewhat and wasn't drinking any liquid. And that's when he said to me, "Let's do it." Well, I didn't agree with him. I took her home, and she lived with me a year and a half. I had a year and a half of happiness.
Yeah, an additional year of happiness. And that must have been really hard to go against the doctor's decision. And, and so I think that question for many parents when dealing with an elderly fur child, because we really don't want to have them incur any additional suffering, right, Pep?
That's right.
The Dr. Pepper says, no, absolutely not. No additional suffering. We want them to have the best quality life possible. Thank you, little man.
Yes.
And
yes, right.
it must have been really hard to be on that fine line. And I know we talked about it
Yes.
quite a bit.
We did.
And so you finally, what was the turning point the last couple weeks that you decided it was finally the time?
Well, it seemed to me that she, slowed down and had less energy, and she would sleep a lot more.
Mm-hmm.
And in the morning, she never got up to have breakfast, and it was hours later. I would put the food out, and she just wouldn't touch it.
Yeah, yeah.
And then she wouldn't drink water, and she had a little bowel problem.
Yeah.
So all of a sudden, I said, "Oh my gosh, this is the time. I must have to do this because I don't want her to get too sick where I couldn't handle the situation because I live alone."
Right, right.
And I made up my mind the very last minute. I called my neighbor and we went by cab to the clinic, and that's when I had to put her down, and I'll never
Yeah.
forget it. And I certainly miss her. I'm very, very lonely. And the question is whether I should get another cat. I don't know. I have to perhaps wait a while, and then
Yeah.
I'll decide.
And maybe some of our viewers here can sort of help us
Yes.
with that decision. When is it the right time? What kind of fur child might you consider adopting
Right.
and bringing into your life? What are some of the factors
Right.
that we should consider?
Yes. Absolutely.
Kitten, an older fur child who needs a loving and comfortable home.
Absolutely.
What would be the best fit for Auntie? We'd love to hear from you, what you think. Because she really is grieving right now, and we want to honor that grieving.
Right.
And I believe that you wrote a couple poems.
Yes.
For
I
Pancake.
did. Yes.
So in honor of our audience, grieving over the loss of their fur child, because it is very emotional, we would like to have you gather around because we really love story time and reading poems. So I'm going to hand you the poem, one poem right here.
Right.
We have a couple.
Okay.
And I'll have you go ahead, and I'll bring this back.
Okay.
That we can.
Right.
I don't know. We lost Pepper there for a little bit. He's bringing his harness.
He wants to go out. Of course.
Yeah.
This is a poem from my cat. Oh, by the way, her name is Pancake. And this is the poem she wrote to me. Well, a short time after she passed away. I love you. I don't want to go, but my body is tired and I must go. I will be in heaven and we'll see you there. Get this urn and keep me close. Please don't ever forget me, and our love continues on. Every time you look at me, you will feel my love and appreciation for our time together. Oh, yes, that's so true.
Yes.
And I can feel it right now, the love and the appreciation of having her.
Yeah, absolutely, Auntie. I know it's a little bit tearful.
Yes.
And you were, when we say that Pancake wrote that poem, you were really, channeling her spirit and her energy. And that's what sort of came forward in the writing.
That really helped me at that time. Once I put her down, my God, and I read this, it really helped me.
And we'd like to share a couple other of Pancake's poems. They're poems that you had written a year ago that we curated in a beautiful book. Is that right there next? What did I do with it? Oh, okay. Here, you put that
I'll put
there.
Here. Okay.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And this is in our third book. I'm just going to kind of put that there. That
okay.
Auntie that I curated for Auntie of many of her poems to Pepper.
Oh, yes, many.
And so the very first one
Yes.
is actually Auntie's also an artist, so she had many drawings of Pancake as well. And so in this book that we created are some of Pancake's drawings. We'll share those with you here shortly. Let's start with the first one.
Oh, right. Peppa, this is Pancake who jumped in the sink to take a drink. Auntie, I jumped in the tub for a bubble bath. Does Pancake want to take a bath with me?
So that was Pepper's response.
Peppa's response.
And this was sort of the text message, if you will, that sort of occurred with Pepper, responding or channeling back to Pancake.
Oh, yes. How nice.
And then we have one more beautiful poem. So first we'll do like show and tell, I guess. This is Pancake, a drawing of Pancake, and the poem right next to it. So let's go ahead and share with our audience this beautiful poem.
Oh, yes, I love to read this. Peppa, Pancake would only take a shower. She would just fight with you. She has the power. Her friends know she is the boss. Hate to lose her. It would be a great loss. She is 18 years old now. In Cat's years, that she is 83. Wow. Peppa, please throw her a kiss and bow. Auntie.
Yeah. Oh, that was so beautiful. And that was a year ago when you were really struggling with knowing that, the day was going to come.
Yes.
With the loss of Pancake.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes.
I know we have one more poem. Anything else, Auntie, that, is coming up for you as you sort of, reflect a little bit on, this struggle that we all face. We've had a couple deaths in the neighborhood. Rest in peace. Margaret passed away right around near the same time of Pancake.
Yes.
And our other friends, they didn't pass away, but they suffered some really traumatic injuries. Chowder in our neighborhood, a little Frenchie bulldog. She flew off mommy's lap right into a huge ceramic flour container and shattered a leg. Pepper's friend in Košice, Slovakia, Edwin, was playing with his brother Julian, also both Frenchie bulldogs, in a skills playground for dogs, and flew off of a platform and broke his forearm in two places, his elbow in two places, and his mommy is just petrified. Her heart, as parents, our emotional support animals, I don't like to use the word pet so much. I really prefer fur children because I really look at them as our kids.
Yes.
And I think it is that same emotional response that when something happens to them, your heart falls into your stomach and you go into panic and anxiety and, your whole world really starts crashing down.
Yes, it does.
And then our kitty friend, Panther, in Idaho, had a severe car accident and head injury, and just recently came off of feeding tube and is having to relearn to eat on his own. But the thing is that his sense of smell has not returned, and it's really creating such a heartache for his mom. And she's really beside herself because she is busy around the clock all day long, having to do feedings, making sure he's hydrated. And so, some really big struggles.
Yes, yes, it is.
It really elicits so much emotion and sorrow and grief when, our children either pass away because of whether it's old age, God forbid an injury, or when they do get injured, it really is a emotional upheaval.
It certainly is. Oh, I agree.
And one of the things that you've been doing on a regular basis to help with that emotional grief is what, Auntie? You've been coming to meditation?
Yes, meditation. That really, really helps me. It relaxes me. For all that time after many hours after that, I'm very relaxed. And actually, I should meditate every single day.
And when you're relaxed,
When
oh
you're
my gosh,
relaxed.
Auntie, you are so prolific
Oh,
in writing poems.
yes, that's when I really
This
can write.
year you wrote, I'm telling you, over 100 poems, and you get really in that creative space
Yes.
and
Yes.
become quite prolific.
Absolutely. I can't stop them. Words just keep coming.
So here is a poem that you wrote to Pepper, and this was shortly after Pancake passed away.
Yes, I remember that so well. Yeah.
And we'll finish up with this for our video.
Fine. Hi, Pepper. Today I will not cry. I'm looking for a rainbow in the sky. Meditation is the thing to do. I find that I do unwind. Pep, whenever you find time, you are a big help and so kind. I will hold back the tears, knowing ahead will be happy years.
Oh, Auntie, that was really fabulous.
And it's so true.
And how, I know that it's still very raw with Pancake passing.
Yes.
And I hope that Pepper lends you some comfort and peace.
Yes, he does.
And also, look at all the creativity that he's inspired for you.
Yes.
And Pepper comes to meditation, doesn't he?
Oh, yes. He's the number one meditator.
Yeah.
Yeah. And just watching him is such a pleasure.
So why don't you come and say goodbye to your audience? This is Dr. Pepper. He's hiding under the ottoman because I think of the bright lights. Yes. But we just want him to say goodbye to Mommy, to our audiences, and Auntie.
And Pepper, Auntie loves you.
It's been such a pleasure.
Yes, it has. I enjoyed every moment. And I love you, Pepper.
All right. Bye for now.
Bye-bye now. Bye-bye. Say bye-bye, Pepper.
Bye.
Auntie loves you.